Breaking news once again grips the world as reports emerge that the Crimean Bridge has come under fire. Flames and smoke rise against the dark waters of the Kerch Strait, and with every passing moment, speculation grows about the consequences of this daring attack. The structure that once stood as a proud symbol of engineering ambition and political control is now scarred, shaken, and transformed into a battlefield of steel and fire. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Strike Point Media channel. If you're here for the latest updates, insights, and deep analysis on the most urgent developments around the world, make sure to subscribe and like this video because today we are going to explore one of the most dramatic and symbolic attacks of the war. The Crimean Bridge is not just infrastructure, it is a lifeline, a message, and a target. And now the question is, what happens next? The exterior of the Crimean Bridge has always been a spectacle of scale. Stretching over 19 kilometers, it connects mainland Russia with Crimea, towering arches rising over restless waters, long concrete stretches carrying vehicles and trains in both directions. To the eye, it stands as a marvel of engineering, sleek and strong, its steel supports holding the weight of both commerce and military logistics. Built with monumental cost, it was designed to project strength, stability, and control. But the exterior image we see now tells a different story. Smoke billows from damaged sections, charred asphalt peels away, and mangled railings hang precariously over the sea. Once a proud display of might, its exterior now screams of vulnerability. It is a reminder that even the strongest structures can bend under the pressure of modern warfare. From the outside, the Crimean Bridge no longer reflects confidence. It reflects a contested struggle between destruction and repair, between dominance and defiance. Inside the bridge, the impression shifts. The interior stretches of asphalt and railway tracks that once carried thousands of cars, trucks, and freight trains each day now carry silence, smoke, and debris. Civilians who once used this route as a lifeline to cross into Crimea now face the terror of traveling across what has effectively become a war zone. The interior is utilitarian, designed for efficiency rather than beauty, but the atmosphere today is heavy. Instead of engines roaring and headlights cutting through the fog, there is only the emptiness of halted journeys. Short stretches of mangled road speak volumes about disruption. The interior of this bridge has become a passage of uncertainty, functional yet fractured, open yet dangerous, a path where every traveler carries the fear that another strike could come at any moment. When we consider performance, we must remember that this bridge was never just a road and rail connection. It was a logistical artery, a powerhouse of movement, and the single most important supply line connecting Russian forces in Crimea with the mainland. For years, it performed its role without fault, carrying not only civilian traffic, but also fuel, ammunition, food, and military reinforcements. Its performance was key to sustaining control over Crimea. But in the theater of war, performance is redefined. What good is the ability to carry thousands of tons of supplies if the bridge is repeatedly struck, if every attempt to restore it is met with another explosion? The performance of this bridge is now a race between engineers repairing damage and precision weapons seeking to undo their work. Each day it stands, it proves resilient. Each day it is hit, it proves vulnerable. And in this tug of war, the very concept of performance becomes less about engineering excellence and more about the sheer will to keep the structure functioning under constant siege. Safety is where the fragility of the bridge is most exposed. When it was designed, engineers accounted for storms, shifting tides, even the seismic tremors of the region. Safety measures were calculated in tons of concrete, reinforced steel, and protective design. For civilians, the bridge was meant to be secure, a safe passage for families, workers, and tourists moving between Crimea and Russia. But war has stripped that security away. No matter how strong the safety systems are, no design can protect against modern drones, missiles, and sabotage. For those who cross the bridge today, safety feels like a gamble. Anti-aircraft systems stand ready on both sides, patrol boats sweep the waters below, and surveillance drones hover above, but still strikes succeed. The illusion of invulnerability has vanished. The flames and destruction reveal a harsh truth. Safety on this bridge is temporary, conditional, and never guaranteed. The unique selling point of the Crimean Bridge has always been its symbolism. It is not merely a connection of land to land. It is a connection of ideology to ideology, of control to defiance. For Russia, the bridge was a declaration. Crimea is ours, and we have bound it to our land with steel and concrete. For Ukraine, the bridge was an unwanted scar, a permanent reminder of annexation and loss. Each time it was targeted, Ukraine was not just striking infrastructure, it was striking the symbol of occupation. This dual meaning is what makes the bridge unique. It is not like any other road or railway. It is a political statement cast in stone and steel, and that is why every explosion is magnified beyond its immediate destruction. A damaged road here or a broken railway, there would be news. But damage to this bridge is a message to the world. Control is never absolute, symbols can burn, and no claim is untouchable. The price of the Crimean Bridge is staggering, not only in the billions of dollars it took to build, but in the billions more poured into maintaining, defending, and repairing it after each strike. Financially, it drains resources at a time when war has already strained economies. The price is also paid in strategy, as Russian forces must divert defenses and attention to protect the structure. For civilians, the price comes in disruption of travel, the risk of accidents, and the fear of being caught in an attack. For Ukraine, the price is risk. Each strike could escalate tensions further, provoking harsher retaliation. The international price is global tension, as every explosion reverberates beyond the strait into boardrooms, parliaments, and military strategy rooms worldwide. The price is not measured just in money or steel, but in morale, in escalation, in risk, and in the lives of those forced to live in the shadow of its destruction. As the story of the bridge unfolds, the world is left asking, what happens next? Will Russia pour more billions into defending and rebuilding the structure, locking themselves into a cycle of endless repair? Will Ukraine intensify its campaign, making the bridge a permanent symbol of vulnerability? Will international allies step up support for bolder strikes, or will global powers pressure both sides toward caution to prevent escalation? The future of the Crimean Bridge is not just about concrete, it is about momentum, morale, and narrative. If Russia cannot secure it, questions about its control over Crimea deepen. If Ukraine continues to strike it, the message grows louder, nothing is beyond reach. This is not the first time in history that a structure has carried symbolic weight far greater than its physical size. From bridges destroyed in World War II to towers brought down in the early 2000s, humanity has seen how steel and stone can become symbols of conflict, pride, and vulnerability. The Crimean Bridge now joins that list. Each attack redefines its meaning. Each explosion shifts its role from infrastructure to icon, from transport hub to geopolitical chess piece. The world watches not just because of the flames, but because of what they represent. The clash of narratives, the contest for legitimacy, and the battle for control of history itself. For the people of Crimea, the bridge was once a gateway, a connection to family, markets, and life beyond the peninsula. Now it has become a source of anxiety. Each crossing is a risk, each journey overshadowed by the thought that fire could break out again. For Russian forces, the bridge is a necessity, their lifeline to maintain supply routes, their backbone for military logistics. For Ukraine, it is a target, a symbol to strike, a constant reminder that even the strongest claims can crumble. As day turns to night and night turns to day, the Crimean Bridge stands scarred but not destroyed, functional but fragile, present but threatened. Its fate remains uncertain, but its significance is undeniable. It is a bridge that has become a battlefield, a lifeline that has become a lightning rod, a structure that has become a story. And as this story continues to unfold, we will be here bringing you the insights, the analysis, and the questions that matter. Because the flames may fade and the smoke may clear, but the consequences of this moment will echo far into the future. Stay tuned, keep watching, and subscribe to Strike Point Media as we follow every development in this extraordinary and dangerous saga.